Conchita and Arantxa. Now, there's a new Martina Hingis. The Swiss Miss looks to add her name to this elite circle. Just 16 years old, she wears a heavy crown. And in her first tournament as the world #1, she walks in the footsteps of these legends. One step closer to their winner's circle, the prestigious Family Circle Magazine Cup. NBC Sports is proud to present the silver anniversary of the Family Circle Magazine Cup. 25 years of incomparable hospitality on the scenic coast of South Carolina. We're at Hilton Head Island on the Sea Pines Plantation Resort, where another day of beautiful weather has greeted this semifinal Saturday. Today, the top seed of the #1 player in the world, Martina Hingis, takes on the powerful Brenda Schultz-McCarthy. A strong test indeed for Hingis. Big Brenda is the tour's fastest server the last 7 years on tour. So it will take another solid match for Hingis to keep her unbeaten season alive. And welcome, everybody. I'm Dan Hicks to beautiful Hilton Head Island. Through the years, some of the biggest names in tennis have played in this prestigious championship, but never before until this week has there been such a strong field to begin. 9 of the top 10 players in the world began here, and as we take a look at the semifinal brackets, 3 of those top 10 are still alive. Hingis alive against Schultz-McCarthy. And continuing her impressive comeback is Monica Seles, who will take on the 2-time champion here, Conchita Martinez. And we welcome back to NBC's tennis coverage, Chris Everett. Now, when you talk about Martina Hingis, the question is, how long can this 16-year-old stay atop the world rankings, and how long can she stay there?
Well, first of all, Dan, we've seen a lot of great 16-year-olds in the past. I mean, Jennifer Capriati, Monica Seles, Steffi Graf. And while I feel that they had more power behind their shots and more strength, nobody matches Martina Hingis as far as finesse and a complete game. In this respect, she is unique.
Well, the historic day came less than a week ago on Monday, where Martina Hingis, when she was named #1, took over the top spot from Monica Seles, who was the previous youngest #1 at just over 17 years old. The question here is an intriguing matchup between power and finesse. The big serve of Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, that'll be the key for her today.
Well, I wish Brenda Schultz good luck, because she has her work cut out for her. Her whole game is based around her serve. It's been clocked at 121 miles per hour. Most of the men tennis pros would die for a serve like that. But unfortunately, she has very little to fall back on. If she gets in a rally with Martina Hingis, she's in big trouble, because Martina is much better off the ground.
Well, a man that has had the whole package throughout all the 25 years here in Hilton Head is Bud Collins, and he joins us now with a report from courtside. Bud?
Dan, 11 years ago, another 16-year-old was right here to win her first professional title. That was Steffi Graf. I think Chrissy will remember whom she beat. Now, Steffi Graf is not here. She's fallen to #2 on the computer. Well, I don't buy that computer. To me, Steffi Graf is the #1 player in the world. She's had knee surgery. She's had so many emotional difficulties. Her father convicted and jailed, although the jail sentence is being served as house arrest, and Steffi is avoiding Germany. She hopes to be back in mid-May. And won't that be something when these two go at each other? This kid Hingis and now an elderly lady, Steffi Graf. Until Hingis can beat her substantially, Steffi is still #1 with me, Dan.
Well, the winning streak to start the season is 29 straight for Martina Hingis. She has won all 5 of the tournaments she has entered, 5 for 5. 16 years old, 5 feet 6, #1 player in the world, born in Slovakia, but moved to Switzerland at age 7, and more than $1 million already in 1997 in her path to these semifinals, Chris.
Well, she really hasn't had a tough match at all. As you can see, some very, very easy scores. A bye in the first round because she's seeded in the top 8. Barbara Rittner, Barbara Shett, easy matches, and Wiltrid Prost, who was a qualifier and was very lucky to reach that position.
Taking on Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, 26 years old, born in the Netherlands, and much bigger physically than Martina, 6'2", 170 pounds. Her husband of 2 years, Sean McCarthy, took the 9-hour drive from Delray Beach to see her play in this semifinal. An impressive start for her, and it's been an impressive tournament here in Hilton Head as well for Brenda.
She's had a great tournament. I mean, clay is not her best surface. She's a fast court player, an indoor player, loves the grass court, so she's done so well. Her results are a lot tougher. Look at that first match. She was lucky to win it. She won that middle set 7-6. Leon Garcia in the second round, and then back-to-back wins over seeded players Jan Novotná, Lindsay Davenport. She had 15 aces against Lindsay in that whole match.
She is capable of racking up the aces. We'll be watching for those, as well as the speed of her big serves. They have met twice previously, and Martina Hingis has prevailed in straight sets both times. The biggest match occurred in the 1996 Australian Open last year. Of course, Hingis won the Australian Open earlier this year in '97.
And that Oakland match was indoors again on a fast court. That's where Brenda really excels. She has an uphill battle, I think, on the clay courts. The clay courts seem to diffuse the power that she has.
This is the beginning of the clay court season, and Martina Hingis, who already has the 5 titles this year, looking for her very first title on clay. Does she play a particular surface better?
Well, I would have thought she was a clay court player. I mean, she's looking for her first professional title on clay, but she has won the junior French title. I'm sure numerous titles on clay as a junior. This young woman is no stranger to being number 1. I mean, she's been number 1 in the juniors. This is a routine for her.
And Hingis to serve to begin this match in the far court. Her style of play, Chris, is really unlike any other player we've seen throughout the years. Soft touch, more of a finesse type of player. Thinks her way around the court.
And also, most of the young champions that came up at a young age were one-dimensional, myself included. You know, a baseliner, and but she's so different. She has such great hands, very soft hands. Tennis players like to say, meaning she can hit the ball soft, or she can nail it hard when she wants to. She really keeps you off guard.
But a couple of unforced errors have given Schultz-McCarthy the first 2 points in this opening game. There's the nice touch displayed by Hingis, and she's got her first point.
And she's used that drop shot a lot this week. It's a very smart shot on clay. And what she wants to do is move Brenda around the court. Brenda, 6'2". Very often, these tall players, you know, it's a trade-off. They've got the power and the reach, but they don't have the mobility.
Well, the strategy seemed to be for Brenda Schultz get the serve in, but Martina Hingis, as long as she can get it in play and keep it in play, she'll prevail.
And that's a huge improvement in Martina Hingis' game. I mean, her serve has been known to be almost a powder puff serve in the past, but I feel that that's the main difference this year. She's really using her legs for power and really snapping her wrist at the top.
And that is long, and Martina Hingis wins the opening game of this semifinal match on another picturesque day in Hilton Head Island. Well, in a very rare situation on the women's tennis tour, Melanie Molitor, the mother of Martina, has been her only coach. They began at age 3.
Well, that's a hard balancing act, I think, a parent coaching a child. Not too many success stories here, especially in tennis. But so far, there's no sign of undue pressure. They have a great relationship. Martina, when asked what she wants to do with her prize money, says, I want to buy my mom some presents. They're best friends, so hopefully it'll continue that way.
Well, that first serve for Brenda Schultz-McCarthy clocked at 117 miles an hour. Got her the first point. And that's exactly what she wants to do.
Exactly.
Get the first big serve in, get Martina off balance, and then put it away early.
Well, you want Martina Hingis to be on the defensive, and this is a great play because Brenda comes. That is not an easy shot because she was moving while she was hitting that ball. But she wants to win her points up at the net, even if it's on clay.
One wide, and Brenda out to a 40-love lead to even up this opening set at a game apiece. That one 111 miles an hour. She's been clocked as fast as 116 in this tournament this week. That was just long, and so an impressive first hold of service for Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, and another look at some of the things that make her game, Chrissy.
Well, we know about the huge serve. I mean, her whole game is based around that slice backhand, which is very good off the approach shot, getting into the net. She goes for broke. She's a percentage player, a very happy-go-lucky player out there, a crowd favorite wherever she plays.
Just wide.
Well, she told us earlier when she was interviewed that Brenda said, I'm going to just try to keep as many balls as I can in the court, and I'm going to try to stay with her as much as I can. And I have to admit, she's been hitting more ground strokes than I've seen her hit in a long time.
Well, the way Brenda put it, she said you have to hit Hingis off the court, overpower her. That's a nice, powerful backhand demonstrated by Brenda.
A beautiful topspin off both sides. Look at that grip. I wouldn't advise any of you to try that grip. That is an extreme Western grip.
And a few break points here for Schultz-McCarthy.
And she has a plan in mind. I mean, this is obvious. She is not going to be on the defensive here. She has to take the momentum away from Martina Hingis and really dictate the points.
Still 2 break points left for Brenda.
Or else that will happen.
That is wide. So the first break comes to Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, who takes a 2-1 lead in the opening set of this semifinal. Well, as impressive as Hingis's rise to the #1 player in the world has been, it's really the manner in which she's done it, which has been almost as impressive. To start the year, the most consecutive wins, that record held back in 1987 by Steffi Graf. And Martina Hingis now 29-0. Chrissy, you started 81 at 34-0, and I guess you just kind of get on a roll. And
well, you get on a roll, and it snowballs, and you just get more and more confident with each match that you win. see Martina Hingis letting up at all. I mean, I feel that the only two players that can really hurt her right now are a healthy Steffi Graf and a smart Jennifer Capriati. Jennifer certainly has the weapons to hit through her and to overpower her. She's just playing, since she's come back, a few too many loose points.
It's interesting you mentioned Capriati, who made her return here, or made her pro debut here back in 1990 and her first appearance here in several years. You really thought she was that impressive that she could be in Hingis's
Oh, absolutely.
level?
She's had some very respectable results since she's come back. She's beaten Monica Seles. She went 3 sets with Hingis in Sydney. She had a great chance against Conchita Martinez this tournament, and I just think it's just a little bit of a confidence thing with her right now. She's a great athlete and has a lot of talent. First serve percentage has really dropped off. It's 33% now, and she's got to keep it up around 60, 65%.
And that one is long. And Schultz-McCarthy in a love 30 hole. The career record for Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, 6 singles titles. Her current ranking is 18. She has been in the top 10 for just a short time, that occurring last year.
She's one of the few players left that I've played that's still currently playing. I remember playing her at Wimbledon on the grass courts and just watching those first serves go by me.
And then you realized that it was time to leave the game, or that helped you along.
I don't think Brenda made me realize that. I think another Martina did.
Another
probably,
Martina, right. Well, a triple break point for Martina, which would be huge to get back on serve here. Down a break.
Just trying to stay warm. She's got to move those feet. That's one of the down points in her game is her mobility.
You're right. The first serve's getting a little
25%
wilder now.
Yeah, she's pressing. She's trying a little bit too hard.
Good velocity on that second serve.
Well, we're not talking about her second serve, but most players would love to have that as a first serve. I mean, that was a 93 miles per hour serve, and she came to the net on it. She was so confident. Good placement on the volley.
Brenda's already fought off 2 break points. But that unforced error gives the game to Hingis and her first break. Well, now you can go online for complete tournament coverage of the Family Circle Magazine Cup, full tournament scores and results, plus transcripts of interviews conducted with some of the finest players in the world gathered here at Hilton Head Island. It's all at NBC Sports' new online home, NBCSports.com. 3-all here in the opening set. Number 1 player in the world, Martina Hingis, against the 14th seed here and the 18th player in the world, Brenda Schultz-McCarthy.
Ooh, good deep return from Brenda. Dan, I think what else separates Martina Hingis from these other ex-champions, and I'm thinking about Jennifer and Monica and Steffi, is that she plays an offensive as well as a defensive game. She knows when to back off. And the other players, they just keep going for their shots, keep going, keep hitting. Even when they're missing, they think it's going to fall into place, but they don't know how to back off and maybe switch gears. She's a very smart player in this respect.
Well, we're seeing that when she does get into a rally with Hingis, she comes up a loser a large majority of the time.
Yeah, she's had 10 unforced errors. I mean, that forehand she never should have missed, but she's taking chances.
And a look at the unforced errors. Hingis with 10. Schultz-McCarthy's number is growing. And Hingis holds serve, and now the #1 player in the world with a 4-3 lead in the first. And courtside, we now join Bud Collins. Bud?
A big, bad Brenda Schultz at 6 feet 3 inches is the most powerful server in the history of women's tennis. Not the best server. Martina Navratilova was certainly better, but she has posted some records. 22 aces against Eva Maioli on grass in England 2 years ago. That's the women's record. 17 against Audra Keller 2 years ago at the U.S. Open. That's the U.S. record. 16 against Monica Seles a few years ago at Wimbledon. That's the Wimbledon record. But yesterday she had one of her finest performances, 15 aces on clay in beating Lindsay Davenport.
And Bud, maybe surprisingly, just one ace so far in this match as you take a look at her service profile.
Well, 88% when she gets her first serve in. And she doesn't even have to hit an ace. If she gets it in, she gets Martina on the defensive. She can come into the net and volley away a winner. She's played some good, solid tennis, some smart tennis. I'm impressed with her ground game.
Martina Hingis gets so much credit for her thinking around the court, but Brenda Schultz-McCarthy has constructed a fine game plan today.
And this just shows she doesn't have to win an ace, hit an ace to win a point, but she sets this up nicely.
She served up 57 aces in 5 matches en route to defending her title last year in Oklahoma City. But her third double fault there, and it's 15 all.
Well, this is the moment of truth because this is the pressure game right here. That's the way to do it. More than ever, she needs to get her first serve in.
Well, she's had some pretty big booming second serves. She needs one here. Two impressive wins for Schultz-McCarthy over Novotná and Davenport. And staying in this first set with Hingis. Huge.
She needed that serve.
And she's a point away from evening up the opening set.
Oh, they're laughing because it says 53 miles per hour.
Double that and then some.
Wow, that was a huge serve. That was definitely over 100.
There's the smile from Hingis.
Smile. It's good to see even when she loses a point, she's smiling.
And another huge serve, back-to-back booming serves by Brenda Schultz-McCarthy. And it's 5 apiece in the opening set. mentioned the big serves by Brenda Schultz-McCarthy. These are the fastest women's servers this year. Brenda over 118 miles an hour. Venus Williams, 116.
My day, they were never over 100 miles per hour. I think these new rackets, the equipment's different. The girls are much stronger. Martina Hingis at 5'6" is one of the smallest women on the tour right now. Usually over 5'8", 5'9".
What a difference in physical stature. Schultz-McCarthy, Bud Collins mentioned 6'3". She's 170 pounds, very fit. And then you've got Martina at just 115 pounds. Look at that passing shot. Confidence is growing for Schultz-McCarthy.
And also Martina was forced into the net. I think when she goes in on her own terms, she's better prepared. She was forced there, so she was on the defensive right away.
Great point chance here. Get a break.
So unlucky that point. But the longer the rally, the more nervous I feel for Brenda, because I sense that she's really not going to be winning the long rallies. Martina's so solid off the ground and so confident at this point.
And it goes to Schultz-McCarthy, who displayed a little bit of everything on that one.
Here again, this drop shot that I haven't seen from Brenda. She's hit so many winning drop shots this match. Both players at the net, both players hitting great ground strokes. Martina a little frustrated there.
And another break point opportunity for Brenda.
Sort of a cat and mouse point there. Just Martina really showing some finesse.
Martina coming in for the kill.
A little unlucky with those two net cords. The first one bounced on Brenda's side, and then that one just gave Martina a setup. She's been a little unlucky this game.
So after watching a couple of break points go by the wayside, now advantage Hingis. Showing no signs of nervousness, though. Took a big swing at that backhand. Martina's shaking her head a little bit.
Yeah, she's not happy with her serve this match so far.
Brenda sending the 16-year-old around the court a few times.
Using the whole court, all the angles on the court. Showed a lot of touch that particular point. has to get Martina Hingis on the defensive. She wins almost every point when she does that.
Third break point opportunity in this game for Schultz-McCarthy. That time she makes it come through. 6-5 in favor of Schultz-McCarthy. She'll serve for the opening set when we return. Armed with the tour's fastest serve, now hopes that serve will win the first set for her. As she serves for the set, it's broken Martina twice. And now with a chance to give Martina her first loss in a set so far in this tournament.
It sometimes hurts a player when they haven't had a tough match in a tournament. Then they get to the semis or finals and they play against a player at another level and they're not prepared.
Nicely done. That backhand has been very accurate as well for Schultz-McCarthy.
Yeah, Brenda's played a great match. Martina looks a bit sluggish to me, you know, which kind of makes me think that maybe now that she's number one, the players are, you know, really gunning for her. I mean, Brenda's all fired up, and you kind of wonder when this young woman, Martina, is going to have a letdown after winning 29 matches in a row.
Fourth double fault.
A lot of pressure on Brenda here because she knows this could be her only big chance.
Oh. Nicely done, and now Hingis even more frustrated, swatting the ball into the net.
A lot of touch as well as power Brenda Schultz possesses.
Ace.
Oh,
and that sets up set point. The opening set to Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, a 29-match winning streak in jeopardy for Martina Hingis, as Schultz-McCarthy takes the opening set 7-5 in impressive fashion. Martina Hingis came back in the second set strong to win it 6-3. Because of time constraints, we move ahead to action in the third set. Hingis began the third set just like she did the second, off to a 3-love lead, but Brenda has just broken Hingis, and as we rejoin the action in the third, Brenda serving in the fifth game. Well, Brenda Schultz-McCarthy still down a break, serving, trailing 1-3. And again, a must-hold situation for the 14th seed here. Has lost 5 straight semifinal matches. Her last semifinal win was a tournament she won last year in February when she won the event.
I think the turning point for Brenda was when she played Federation Cup. They played the U.S. In the Netherlands, and she had that big win, that decisive match over Mary Jo Fernandez, 9-7 in the third set. And I think that gave her the confidence she needed. Then she comes to this tournament. She has back-to-back wins over Jan Novotná, Lindsay Davenport. That's a first for her to be 2-seeded players in a row. And then she's played a wonderful match against Martina Hingis.
But down now, love 30. In a game in which she has to hold serve. Already down a break. the big serve, which produces such short points.
And that is the key to her game right there on any surface, fast or slow.
Had Hingis wide to the other side, a chance to put it away, but now a couple of breakpoint opportunities for Hingis.
With her volley. You know, I never gave her credit for having a great volley because she didn't need one. She got so many big first serves in, but she has really volleyed well and come through with some wonderful angles. Drop shots, powerful ground strokes. We've seen it all from her today. It's called a let.
There's that 16-year-old smile from Hingis.
I didn't see that smile the first set, though.
She's had a lot to smile about in this 97 season. What an impressive run. Nicely done by Schultz-McCarthy. Catches Hingis going the other way.
Martina Hingis seems to have a little better idea where the serve's going. She's watching the toss and watching the angle of the racket, and she's starting to catch on a lot better. It's the third set, though. She should be.
Nice return by Hingis. Just inside the line. Take care of that. Deuce. 111 miles an hour. Fourth ace.
Tell you, for a big server with a lot of power, she places it awfully well. Very close to the lines on either side.
Not enough just to have the power. She does place it well, and that can lead to an impossible situation for the other person on the other side of the net.
I think you need to have both in this day and age because the players can just block the ball back if it's powerful, but right to them. Martina Hingis from the baseline. That's a rare sight.
And Schultz-McCarthy has been fighting off break points as you take a look at Hingis's mother and coach, Melanie Molitor. Back to deuce.
You won't see Martina Hingis making unforced errors on big points. That's the difference between these two women.
Will it stay just on the line?
Brenda having so many opportunities the last 2 points, just making 2 unforced errors at a crucial time.
See if she can fight off another one.
And that's really been the word out on her. She's a dangerous player, but at any time you just have to hang in there because she can also spray balls.
And double faulting and broken once again. The 9th double fault for Schultz-McCarthy, and Hingis has taken a stranglehold of this third and decisive setup. 4-1 now. 4 weeks, the longest. Chris, you've been up there for quite a long time as well. What might we see Martina hang on to this spot for years to come?
She has time on her side. I'd like to see her play a healthy Steffi Graf. I still have my doubts. I have a lot of respect for Steffi. When she's healthy, when her body's okay, I feel that she still has the guns, the weapons to hurt Martina Hingis. She can still hit through her, overpower her. She moves so well. So I'm not fully convinced until I see these two play.
So you think it would be quite a battle?
I do.
When Steffi gets back for the #1 spot.
We just want Steffi to come back healthy, because I think that could be the beginning of a great rivalry. I think Jennifer Capriati also, if she could just get her head together a little bit more and play the big points better, could be a rival for Martina Hingis. I mean, women's tennis is looking great.
Steffi, of course, out with an injured knee, and we understand she had surgery on that knee, but...
She did have surgery. Monica Seles is another player who's come back after 5 months. She can only get better. What a champion mentality she still has. Anna Kournikova, Venus Williams, 2 other young players, flashy, a lot of charisma also.
And Hingis now coasting up 5-1, a game away from closing it out. Well, it was Martina Hingis who first beat Steffi Graf less than a year ago at the Italian Open. It was her first victory over a #1 player. A few months later, she won the Wimbledon doubles title with Helena Suková, and thus making her mark in history as the youngest Wimbledon champ, first ever Swiss woman to win a Wimbledon title. And she said that winning that Wimbledon doubles title was a turning point in her career.
And she's showing why she's a champion now. She lost the first set, but she made adjustments in her game. She did not play the same way she did in the first set. She used a little more finesse, a little more dink shots, came to the net more. Just showed us so much variety in her game.
Moved from number 16 to number 4 at the end of '96. And with this recent streak she's put together, the rise has been quick to the top spot. And just nothing working for Schultz-McCarthy now after the impressive opening set.
Brenda, she still has to be thrilled with this tournament, reaching the semifinals. Big wins, Jan Novotny, Lindsay Davenport, taking a set from the #1 player in the world, and it's not even her best surface. She has to be thrilled.
Well, she's thrilled with that ace, number 5 for Schultz-McCarthy. Again, better than 100 miles an hour. But sooner or later, as you said, Chrissy, when you put that much pressure on the serve, it becomes quite a burden, especially in the big moments, the big points of the match.
Well, Martina Hingis still has more shots, and she's more nimble. Her mobility is better.
Plays both doubles and singles.
And there's a lot of doubles tournaments, and I think that's why her volley is so good. She's very comfortable at the net.
Well, Schultz-McCarthy holds serve here, but it might be a little too late. Well, Spain has taken home the title the last 3 years here in the Family Circle Magazine Cup. Martina Hingis on the brink of bringing it home for Switzerland. Of course, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, the champion last year. Prior to that, Conchita Martinez won 2 titles in a row here. And Schultz-McCarthy just gambling. What's there to lose? At this stage,
And this is where she's won most of her points, up at the net, so it really is smart for her to try to make her way up if she can. That slice backhand has let her down. You know, she's made a lot of errors off that side, but consequently, when she really tries to rip it with a topspin, she's made a lot of those points.
Sanchez-Vicario, a third-round loser here. It was the earliest exit ever for a Family Circle defending champ, and Arantxa's been in a little bit of a tailspin the last year.
She's been through a big slump. And now her brother Emilio has been coaching her, and you know, Arantxa's great. I mean, she'll lose a match, but she'll that night end up at the sponsor party with a big grin on her face. You know, she's still one of the most delightful players. She'll figure out what's happening with her.
And now Hingis a point away from her 30th straight match victory and a chance to be in the finals. Mom looks on. Hingis entered tournaments at the age of 5. Quite yet, says Schultz-McCarthy.
Talk about being born to be a champion or to be groomed to champion. She's a perfect case, right? Case study.
Her father teaches, manages at a tennis club. And she's been on the road to stardom for a while. The number 1 player in the world, Martina Hingis, as expected, advances to the championship here in her second Family Circle Magazine Cup. So it was the top seed in the world, number 1, Martina Hingis, who survived the big, powerful serving of Brenda Schultz-McCarthy and moves into the championship final. Monica Seles continues her impressive comeback from tragedy and injury, ousting Conchita Martinez in the other semifinal this afternoon. The scores 3 and 4, disposing of the 2-time champion here, Conchita Martinez.
Well, Monica Seles has been fighting the flu all week, but I still feel she's looked particularly strong in her last match. Anka Huber today against Conchita Martinez. She's going to be awfully tough tomorrow.
And that sets up a great championship final between the current number 1 in the world and the former number 1 in the world. Martina has had her number, though, in the previous 2 matches. She's had an easy time.
And she lost to Lipton very easily, only won 3 games. That's why I have to give a slight edge to Martina Hingis, because Martina is still more consistent and moves better on the clay.
And we'll have the championship final between Hingis and Seles tomorrow right here on NBC. We'll see you tomorrow from Hilton Head. For Chris Everett and Bud Collins, the championship is set. Hingis and Seles.